Major scale, G, C category, Brother John. Before I start in the G shape up here and playing it, I'll play it here real quick. I'm going to show you that you've actually played a 4-string scale before, but not in a non-open position. Should sound familiar because it sounds like this scale here. And it is the same thing. It's the same octave, same notes, different position on the guitar. The way the guitarists kind of organize this mess is by this system called the cage system, and that refers to the shape of the chords as you go up on the same chord root. So this is a G-shaped chord from Cage, and it spells caged in that sequence, hence this Cage sequence. Go by the lowest root, C shape, open position, A shape, third position, third fret there, replace your third finger. First finger, you got the G shape there. First finger is, but your first finger, you got E shape. So far we got C, A, G, E, where my pinky is, D. And then where my pinky is here, I'm going to build C shape backwards. It looks like a little check mark there, and then the longer part of it. Boom, boom. So there's Cage, back to C. C, A, G, E, D, C. Now I went through that really quick because the video is more about the scale. Do, re, mi, major scale, in this position. And the fact that it takes 4 strings, E string, do, A string, re, mi, fa, D string, sol, la, and then the G string, T, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, Ti, do. Same thing down here, but it starts on the A string. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now, because of the tuning between the G and the B string, which is a third, that's why you get this shape here, this little check mark shape. When you start from the low E string, you don't cross between the G and the B string, therefore you don't get that little check mark shape. You get this, I call it a hockey stick shape. This is the long part of the stick, and then there's the little part that hits the puck. So now another way to finger the scale, when I go on to the 4th string, I'm putting my 4th finger in the place of where I had, or where I would put my 3rd. So let me go back down here for a second. So we got, so really the next step to learn this fingering is you could do this in open position, and this is a pretty big deal. This is like taking the chords and learning how to make the bar chords, or part of the bar chords, and do it in this section, which I call with your first finger, that would make the bar behind the nut, which is a good stretch for your fingers. And then when you feel like you're confident enough and you got the mold, you move it up one. So same thing with the scale. Pinky in the place of 3rd finger gives you do. And then re, mi, fa, that would be your first finger on the nut there on the open, 3rd finger, 4th finger. So that's re, mi, fa. First finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger, re, mi, fa. So first finger at the nut there, open position, to just get used to this fingering. La, 3rd finger, Ti, do. And we're just going to have to go right across with the 1 finger, Ti, do, 1, 2, because of the way the G and the B strings tune. So pinky, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2. Took 4 strings. First string, 2nd string, 3rd string. So that's why it's in that G-C category, or 4-string scale. Take that same fingering, move it up here. 8th fret, do. Re, mi, fa is going to be 1, 3, 4, just like we did down here. But starting at 5th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret. Sol, la, first finger, just like down here. And And you could do that up here too. Now if we go past La, I like to put my fourth finger in the place of it as an alternative, so I don't have to reach further than one finger per fret when I go to the G string. And this is the problem of the tuning of the guitar, because it's not a different tuning between the D and the G string, it's a fourth. More on that headache later. So hence the Cage category too. So it took 4 strings to get there. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Okay, let's get on to the sheet, which is Brother John. There's the first phrase. Are you sleeping? Repeat that twice. Every phrase repeats twice. There's 4 phrases. That was phrase 1. Second phrase. Brother John uses 2 strings there. Okay, this one's going to use all 3 strings, and there's 8th notes in there. So the morning bells is twice as fast as the other notes. It goes. Morning bells are ringing. Okay, this is what I call the flying monkeys part. And the reason why is they usually go ding, dong, ding, but I don't want you to leave the position, so I invert it. Flying monkeys part. Wizard of Oz, check it out. So, 4 strings for that. Okay, this is what this would look like in open position for you music reading students in the first couple of Mel Bay books. Flying monkeys part in open position. Okay, and I want to demonstrate, you can get 4 sets of 4 strings in a row on the guitar. You got the Eddie 8 Dynamite Good, key of C, and then you got Eddie 8 Dynamite Good here, open position. And then you have the Dynamite Good by Eddie, which is the top part of the E chord in Caged, which puts you in the other category. If you go to the top part, you're either in the, it takes 3 strings to get to Do, or 4. So the bottom part, the E part, is related to the bottom part of that chord, which took 3 strings to get to. But once you get to the top of that, then you have this shape, which should look sort of familiar, which I love the illustrations in this book, which shows what the G chord will look like from the bottom. There's that hockey stick thing shape I was talking about. There's the handle of it, and then the part that would hit the puck there. And then this is what happens when it crosses the B string. It makes this little check mark. And this is what happens basically when you get to the top part of an E chord. That you're like, wow, how does that look familiar? Same thing as that, just closer together without a fret between. And this is they're all the same thing. This shows what it would look like if you didn't compensate for the B string. It shows that all the shapes are the same. So that's one way to think about it when you're looking at these shapes, because it just gets, to me, it's really confusing, and you want to be as consistent as possible and know what's going on. And that tuning between the G and B string just can cause all kinds of problems. So know that it's really the same thing, and you're compensating for that string, and that's why the shapes change. So I'm going to cover Do, Re, Mi on this. Let's do the bottom 4 strings again. Key of C. Okay, this will be the same octave. I'll do 8 Dynamite Goodbye. And then I'm going to jump up to the top part of the E chord. It's Dynamite Goodbye Eddie. And I'll keep the fingering the same. 4, 1, 3, 4. I'm going to compensate for the B string and go 1, 4 in the place of 3, just like I did. So would only have to reach 4 frets away. And then T-do, 1, 2. This you have to learn multiple fingerings for. There you go, that's the one they teach you. 2 and 4 in the place. It gets very confusing, but realize it's the same thing. If this helps you, do it that way too. So here's what Brother John looks like up here. Here it is with the other fingering, the more traditional one they make you learn. That one there. So you start to realize that's a fifth interval. This is a okay, so this shape here, back to the C shape in a non-open position, 8, dynamite, goodbye. Just like I did an open position there with this. That's a little bit more than I asked you to do on the sheet, but I just wanted to show you the it takes 4 strings in the G-C category, do, re, mi, and this thing that could be a problem that occurs between the G and the B string, or B to G, it's tuned differently than the other strings. I don't want it to become a problem. That's why I gave you these different songs to play, so you can kind of work these jigsaw puzzles out and also see with the chord shapes that it's the same thing. You're just compensating for that string. So ooh, that was yucky. So there it is, the G-C category, do, re, mi, more than you wanted to know about playing Brother John. Basically, I just want you to learn this in this Brother John, this position. Oops. Next, Brother John in the E-A-D position, or that takes 3 strings to finish the do to do pattern. Check that on the next video.